SEC chief says to Wall Street, the everything crackdown is coming. So I want to cover this and how it correlates with AMC and the rest of the overall market, because I think and I believe, and this is not the first time I'm saying this on my channel, the manipulation and the fraud and the corruption that we are seeing and uncovering every single month, every single week after week in AMC and GameStop is just a glimpse of what is happening throughout the whole retail sector and affecting the retail investor in the overall market. So to hear what the SEC chief to say the everything crackdown it's coming, whether it's from crypto, whether it's on stocks, whether it's on SPACs, whether it's on some other matters he has on his priority list, is definitely interesting because it will impact one way or another your positions, whether those are in AMC or any other stock in the market. All right. So getting into the details of what he said last Friday, the everything crackdown is coming. And this article is from Bloomberg, but it has an interesting two faces. So on one side, you have people actually thinking why this is possible. And on the other side, you have people thinking, man, this is definitely a humongous task and there is no way this is going to be actually possible for him to achieve. So I'm on the side of people who actually believe the SEC is actually working on some of the issues we, the apes, brought forward by doing our research and exposing those, getting some reactions from, some of the big dogs shorting the stock like Citadel and Ken Griffin to actually give them some more input. All right. I don't want to say we did the work, we did their job, but it was pretty much close to that. All right. So on one side, when you look at the whole priority list on Gary Gensler, all right, we have about the Gary Gensler terrible 10 SEC rules that make Wall Street tremble. All right. So he divided the whole staff of the SEC into 50 groups, all right, 50 teams of at least 200 employees. And each group has a specific assigned thematic, theme, subject, topic they're working on. And gamification is part of that. The Wall Street play, it's another one. The SPACs, climate change, the ESG rules, the short sales disclosures, market structure, the delisting of the Chinese stocks. We talk about that a couple of times in my videos, and crypto. All right. So on one side of things, this is really challenging. This is really it's ambitious. It's an ambitious list because it's going to take so much time, given the fact that the SEC is actually understaffed and doesn't have as much resource in terms of budget, in terms of tools, etc., to actually not only come up with some new rules, but also enforce the existing rules. And I think this is one of the main issues we've been seeing so far in AMC and GameStop plays. Why? Because we have new rules coming. We have new rules that came since January. And we have new rules that are potentially going to come based on the discussions happening in Congress on, payment for order flow, dark pool regulation, etc., etc. Now, the question is, if now they're actually not even able to enforce the current rules, how in the heck are they going to try to come up with some new rules here and make sure these are getting enforced? Because, if I am a bad guy with big pockets on the street, on Wall Street, what I'm going to do? Because the history is telling me that as far as I'm willing to pay big fines, I'm off the hook. So let me make sure I get away with $1 billion, or let's say $500 million, and just paying 10% of that in fine, if it allows me to get away with my issues, to get away with my trouble, to get away with my fraud, then I'm willing to do that. Okay, I get to keep 90% of the money that I made. So to me, it's really a complex issue here with the SEC. So I'm a strong believer that they are actually doing something to prevent what we've been covering on AMC and GameStop, but it's a hard challenge because this might take some years. But keep in mind that the SEC either banning payment for order flow, either regulating dark pool is not the only catalyst that are gonna make sure the price goes to the moon and force the shorts to cover. All right. So To finish, this is not just something I will hold my breath on because we don't have any control on this. The only control on what we have is to actually keep buying the stock, holding if we can afford to, but more importantly, keeping our conviction strong. I mean, if you still believe this is going to squeeze.